In the glimmering world of 90s and 2000s pop, where boy bands ruled the airwaves and captivated hearts worldwide, Kevin Richardson stood as a paragon of what it meant to be the mature and mysterious one. As a member of one of the most iconic pop boy bands, his image was finely crafted to embody a certain allure, a sophisticated stability amidst the whirlwind of fame. But beneath this polished exterior, what lay beneath the surface? What truly motivated Kevin Richardson to maintain this persona, and what did it cost him? To unravel this, we first look into the Enneagram, a tool of psychological insight that can peel back the layers of public masks. Kevin appears to resonate with the Enneagram Type 1, often known as the reformer. This personality type is driven by a core desire for integrity, perfection, and a need to improve the world around them. For Kevin, this translated into a public image of the responsible, principled band member, often seen as the grounding force amidst the youthful exuberance of his peers. But why this need to be seen as the responsible one? A closer look at the formative ecosystems that shaped him provides clues. Raised in a family and industry where high standards were the norm, Kevin's upbringing was steeped in values of discipline and responsibility. The music industry, especially during the height of boy band popularity, thrived on distinct personalities within groups. Kevin's role became that of the one who kept the group anchored, the mentor-like figure, a role that both the group and their audience rewarded. Yet, this came with its own pressures. The fame machine had an insidious way of reinforcing these roles, rewarding the public persona while often neglecting the individual behind it. The dynamics within the band itself further perpetuated Kevin's image. Relationships with allies in the group, those who leaned on his perceived stability, contrasted sharply with the need to maintain harmony amidst internal rivalries and the constant media scrutiny. His romantic image, curated for the fans, painted him as the enigmatic heartthrob, further cementing his place as the mature one. Yet, this public role often ran counter to private pressures. What the public saw was a serene, almost stoic presence. What they didn't see was the internal struggle to keep this facade intact. The pressure to always be the rock, the dependable one, can be a heavy cloak. For Kevin, this meant hiding vulnerabilities, those moments of self-doubt and imperfection that are wholly human but seemingly incompatible with his public image. In terms of growth and shadow, the very qualities that defined his public persona also held the potential for internal conflict. The reformer's gift for seeing what could be improved can easily become a relentless inner critic. The same desire for perfection and control, when left unchecked, morphs into rigidity and an aversion to change, trapping the individual in the very role they created. This dynamic can lead to stress spirals, where small imperfections are magnified, feeding into a cycle of self-imposed pressure. As we dissect these layers, we must consider the broader implications for ourselves. Have you ever felt the need to uphold a certain image because it was what others expected? Perhaps there's a part of you that resonates with Kevin's journey, a need to be seen as the responsible one, the mentor, or the stabilizer. In maintaining this image, what aspects of yourself have you had to hide? Kevin Richardson's story, like many others in the limelight, is a testament to the complex interplay between public expectation and personal reality. It serves as a mirror, reflecting the universal human experience of creating personas that often overshadow the self. As we explore his journey, we can find pieces of our own story, those moments where we too have been cast in roles that define us more than we'd like, yet feel compelled to maintain. This exploration of Kevin's public mask versus his private pressures invites us to question the roles we play in our own lives. How do these roles serve us, and where do they hold us back? By reflecting on these questions, we gain insight into the ways we navigate our worlds, much like Kevin did amidst the music and lights. Each of us, in our own way, strives for authenticity while balancing the expectations of those around us. Kevin's journey offers a lens through which to view our own, asking us to ponder, what if the roles we play are just reflections of what we believe we must be? Yet within this tension between image and identity lies the seed of transformation. The Enneagram Type 1, often labeled as the reformer, is not merely about adherence to rules or principles. It's about the journey towards a higher ideal, a quest for moral and personal integrity. For Kevin, this quest might have started with music, a medium through which he could express ideals larger than himself, yet ended up entwined with the very image that weighed on him. Consider the duality of light and shadow in his artistic endeavors. On stage, Kevin was the embodiment of discipline and dedication, a meticulous performer whose every move seemed polished and deliberate. This public persona reflected his core desire for order and harmony, aligning perfectly with the image of the ideal band member. Yet beneath the surface, the shadow of this perfection loomed large. The more he was celebrated for his precision, the more he might have felt the suffocating weight of maintaining it, leaving little room for spontaneity or vulnerability. The pressure to sustain this image can lead to what Carl Jung described as the inflation of the persona, where the mask we wear becomes so tightly bound to our identity that we forget who we are beneath it. For Kevin, this inflation might have manifested as a reluctance to embrace change, potentially causing friction in moments when the band sought new directions or experiments in sound. Each note played perfectly could echo the silent fear of falling short, of not being enough without the validation of public success. Let's delve into the moments where Kevin's internal landscape might have clashed with external expectations. The music industry, much like any high-stakes environment, thrives on the allure of flawless performance and the perpetual pursuit of success. The pressure to innovate while maintaining a solid brand can become a double-edged sword. For a reformer like Kevin, who thrives on order, the industry's demand for constant evolution could have felt destabilizing, threatening the very foundation upon which his self-worth stood. Imagine the rehearsals, the late-night sessions, and the never-ending tours, a relentless cycle where each performance is a test of consistency. In those quiet moments, away from the spotlight, Kevin might have grappled with questions that cut to the core of his identity. Am I truly living my values, or am I simply playing a part? Such reflections are the bedrock of shadow work, where one confronts the parts of themselves that they might prefer to ignore. This internal dialogue, the private conversation between the self and the persona, can serve as a catalyst for growth. The Enneagram speaks to the idea that what we resist in our shadows contains the very lessons we need for liberation. For Kevin, embracing imperfection and vulnerability could have been his path to authentic self-expression, a journey from the rigidity of the reformer to the adaptable wisdom of a more integrated self. Through this lens, we also see Kevin's potential as a mentor, not just to his fellow band members, but to anyone navigating similar crossroads. By acknowledging the limitations of his own roles and accepting the fluidity of identity, he offers a blueprint for others striving for balance. His story becomes a testament to the power of self-awareness, encouraging us all to question the masks we wear and the personas we project. This narrative of Kevin Richardson, though specific, taps into a universal truth. The tension between authenticity and expectation is a shared human experience. It reminds us that the pursuit of an ideal, while noble, becomes most meaningful when it is tempered by acceptance and compassion for oneself. Each of us can find resonance in his story, perhaps seeing our own struggles mirrored in his journey. As we step back from this analysis, we're invited to reflect on the roles we occupy in our own lives. How might we redefine them to better align with our true selves? In what ways can we integrate our shadows to enhance our personal growth? Kevin's experience encourages us to embrace the complexity of our identities, to see beyond the surface, and to pursue a path where authenticity leads the way, even if it means stepping outside the bounds of what is expected.